Should you buy a home in Denver now or wait for the spring like everybody always tells you to? In today's video, I'm going to show you why this holiday season might actually be your best shot to get the right house with less competition and more leverage before things heat back up in 2026. This is not a generic national headline. This is what's actually happening on the ground in the Denver housing market in November 2025 and what it means if you're thinking about buying in the next 3 to 6 months. So let's start with where the Denver market is right now. Recent reports show that across Colorado, the market has been recalibrating in 2025. Homes are taking longer to sell, and buyers still have room to negotiate on price and concessions. In Metro Denver specifically, prices are generally stable to modestly up year over year, even as days on the market have stretched out and many properties are sitting longer than they used to. Here is our interesting twist though. Heading into November, some local data and agent reports show that closed and pending sales are increasing. This means more deals are actually getting done rather than sellers just sitting on the sidelines like they have been. At the same time, holiday season historically brings fewer new listings as many would-be sellers wait until the new year. So inventory does start to drift down a bit. So if you have this mix of buyers who are still active and motivated, sellers who are more willing to negotiate to get a deal wrapped up before the end of the year, and overall conditions that are more buyer friendly than the peak frenzy of 2020 to 2022, you might have heard earlier in 2025 that Denver felt sluggish, but the story this fall is more nuanced. Some local updates are showing increase in closed and pending sales, along with the signs that buyers are responding to slightly better rate options and more realistic pricing. Instead of sitting on the fence waiting for a perfect rate that may never come, more buyers are stepping in to lock in homes while prices are relatively steady and the competition is calmer. Now, demand picking up doesn't mean bidding wars everywhere. It means serious, ready-to-move buyers are back in the game, especially for well-priced, move-in ready homes in great locations. If that sounds like what you're looking for, it's important to understand how the holidays can actually work in your favor rather than against you. Well, let's talk about why buying during the holiday season can be such a strategic move here in Denver. First, there's simply less competition. Many casual buyers pause their search for travel, school breaks, and end-of-the-year business, which means fewer people showing up to the same showings and making offers on the same homes. Serious sellers keep their homes on the market because they really want to get a deal done before the new year. So you're often dealing with more motivated, flexible sellers. Second, inventory behaves differently this time of year. A lot of potential sellers wait for spring selling season, while some existing listings come off the market for the holidays, which slightly lowers the number of active homes. That can sound like a negative, but paired with fewer active buyers, it often turns into a more one-on-one negotiating power situation for the buyers who do stay in the game. Third, sellers in November and December are likely to offer concessions, talking rate buydowns, closing cost credits, or help with repairs to get to the closing table sooner rather than later. That is real money back in your pocket or a lower monthly payment for the life of the loan. Who can complain about that? Now, let's compare buying now versus waiting for spring here in Denver. Traditionally, the spring market brings more inventory, but it also brings more buyers. It also brings multiple offer situations, more pressure to move quickly, and you don't have the time to think about if you really want this house or not. If rates continue to ease or even just stabilize, buyer confidence could rise and bring more people back into the market in early 2026, which can push competition up even if prices don't skyrocket. By acting during the holidays, you can negotiate more on price and concessions while sellers are motivated, competition's thinner. You can take more time to evaluate neighborhoods, schools, and commute instead of rushing through this huge life decision. Potentially lock in a home at today's price in a still balanced market rather than dealing with a tighter, faster-paced environment in the spring. If rates continue to improve next year, you always have the option to explore refinancing, but you can't go back in time and rebuy the right house you missed because you waited. So, what should you actually do if you're thinking about buying a home in Denver in the next few months? Well, first, you need to get clear on what your budget is and what your non-negotiables are. You need to do that now. With a bit of a pickup in serious buyers, homes that are priced right and well presented are still moving. So you want to be ready to go when the right one appears. You need to talk to a lender about your current options, including temporary or permanent rate buydowns, and any local programs that might help you with down payments or closing costs. Second, focus on homes that have been on the market a few weeks or even a little bit longer. Combined with the holiday timing, that's where you may find the most motivated sellers and the best room for negotiation. Third, lean on local data, not the headlines. Neighborhoods around Denver behave differently. Some are still very competitive, while others are offering more room to negotiate. Having someone walk you through what's happening in your specific price point and where you want to be can make a huge difference in your strategy going forward. If you're planning a move in early 2026, this holiday season could be your chance to get ahead of the curve instead of getting swept up in the crazy spring rush. If you want a customized game plan for buying a home in Denver, what neighborhoods fit your budget, where you have the most leverage right now, and how to structure an offer that is really going to work in this market, reach out. All of my contact info is in the description. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next Denver market update and more buyer and seller tips. Let me know in the comments. Are you thinking about buying now, or are you still leaning on waiting for the spring?